Fasting refers to the state we are in 4 to 5 hours after our last meal. It also refers to the state we are in during sleep for 7 or 8 hours. In both of these two states, plasma glucose is maintained between 80 to 100 milligrams per deciliter in order to supply key tissues with the glucose they absolutely need for their energy needs. Key tissues and cells that almost entirely depend on glucose in the plasma are the brain, red blood cells, kidney, medulla, and testes. Maintenance of blood glucose is entirely dependent on the output of glucose from the liver. The liver is able to produce glucose and restore plasma glucose through two distinct pathways. The first one involves the breakdown of stored glycogen to release glucose into the bloodstream, and the second one is to synthesize glucose from smaller molecules derived from specific carbon skeletons of amino acids. In both of these processes, the liver is able to resupply the plasma with glucose and maintain glucose levels during fasting between 80 to 100 milligrams per deciliter. In addition to increasing its glucose output, the liver will be increasing ketone body synthesis, ketogenesis, because it's using fatty acids as a source of energy, producing a lot of acetyl-CoA, and some of that acetyl-CoA is used in ketogenesis. So note how important the liver is. It's providing glucose, providing ketone bodies, two different forms of energy to other tissues to use during fasting. During fasting, adipose tissue and the liver provide most of the energy needed by the body. Adipose tissue provides fatty acids from lipolysis of stored triglycerides, whereas the liver provides glucose and ketone bodies as alternative energy sources. Exercise or fasting will trigger an increase in epinephrine in the bloodstream. Epinephrine will then stimulate the beta-adrenergic receptor in adipose tissue and increase the lipolysis of stored triacylglycerol. Epinephrine activates the beta-adrenergic receptor, which in turn causes the increase in cyclic AMP in adipose tissue, which in turn activates protein kinase A, which in turn phosphorylates hormone-sensitive lipase and activates it, resulting in the hydrolysis of triacylglycerol and the release of 3 fatty acids and glycerol to the bloodstream. Plasma glucose is maintained somewhere between 80 and 100 milligrams per deciliter. This happens because of the effects of glucagon and epinephrine on the liver's glucose output. Under the influence of these two hormones, the liver's two pathways responsible for restoring blood glucose, namely glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis, are both activated. By restoring blood glucose, the liver provides key tissues like the brain and red blood cells with the glucose they need as their major energy source. The liver will be increasing ketone body synthesis, ketogenesis, because it's using fatty acids as a source of energy, producing a lot of acetyl-CoA, and some of that acetyl-CoA is used in ketogenesis. So note how important the liver is. It's providing glucose, providing ketone bodies, two different forms of energy to other tissues to use during fasting. Plasma glucose is maintained somewhere between 80 and 100 milligrams per deciliter. This happens because of the effects of glucagon and epinephrine on the liver's glucose output. For gluconeogenesis in the liver, the muscle provides two important precursors, lactate and alanine. In the Cori cycle, lactate produced by exercising muscle is released into the bloodstream and is subsequently picked up by the liver. The liver converts lactate to pyruvate by lactate dehydrogenase. Pyruvate in the liver is converted to glucose through gluconeogenesis, and the glucose produced is released into the bloodstream, where it can be picked up by a variety of tissues, including skeletal muscle, thus completing the Cori cycle. Normal muscle protein turnover produces amino acids that are released in the bloodstream. Alanine, a highly enriched amino acid in muscle, is among those amino acids that are released and is picked up by the liver. In the liver, alanine is converted to pyruvate through alanine transaminase. Pyruvate produced in the liver is used in the synthesis of glucose through gluconeogenesis. Glucose released in the bloodstream can be picked up by various tissues, including skeletal muscle, thus completing the alanine glucose cycle. In summary, the muscle will provide the liver with two important gluconeogenic precursors, alanine and lactate, which will be eventually converted to glucose in the liver through gluconeogenesis. If you like this video, please subscribe.